Well, I've shown you me beating bots at a 1200 level. So when I don't play rapid though, I play mostly against the bots. And you've seen likely if you watch chess videos, Gotham Chess plays it barely win or force a draw against his own bot. And I think Anand or Anashgiri is one of those people. They also, like Vishy or someone, they also couldn't do their own bot. You've also seen me try. I'm warring against Agadmator's bot. I love Agadmator, by the way. No, it's not like a battle. I love Agadmator. I wish he would give me lessons so I could at least get up to 2,000. But thank you guys for joining me on my journey to get to be the best I can be at chess. And here we go. Let me show you the game between us. It was a really good game. I mean, he wasn't. I don't want to be mean. He wasn't. It's a mismatch because I'm playing 1,200 bots, so I had a lot of room for blunders and stuff and everything, and it was pretty, yeah. So I don't think I'm going to edit this one to just exclude the screen. I want both of our names out there. Since I'm not a mainstream channel, just don't talk shit to this dude and don't chat. Don't be a dick. Um. Anyway, so I pushed my. You can see we got. I kind of accelerated pretty quickly there. I don't. So I decided I would play like a Caro-Kann kind of thing where I do this, pin his D pawn, move back. He thought he could get me this way. They say that's an inaccuracy. I disagree. I just kind of went Morphe style on this one, like getting my pieces activated. Then I had to do that. I just did that to target the base pawn, and that makes sense. And then you'll see what I did later. They attacked that pawn. Now I could have actually attacked that other pawn, but I did this. And in theory, they could actually wreck me from there. They just don't know it. They could, if I was stupid, they could. Like people might get emotional when you take their F pawn, and then they'll be like, "Oh my god, you did my rook." And you'll notice I didn't do that. I actually know I can kind of tell a 200 psychology. So I'm gonna tell you 200 psychology and what you can get away with. You can get away with a lot. You'll see it when we get into the queen battle. So he takes, I take the pawn, and then he moves another pawn out. I take with the bishop. So we're gonna trade knights. Trade, check. Problem is take bishop, take rook. Now at this point he was probably very concerned. Now here's the issue. He moves his bishop there. I then take a pawn. Moves his queen out. Bad idea. I castled. Now, they move that down there. I just scared them by doing that. I don't know what they thought I was doing. Aside from, well, because what I was doing was just making it so that if they take it, I'll take their queen, and then they won't have a queen. That's a bad trade. They at least have the understanding that's a really bad trade. You know what I mean? Really bad trade. So at least they have that understanding. Hang on, let's take a little break. All right, I'm back. I had to silence all my notifications, put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So then they move up and instead take pawns, which is perfect. So then I move this there. They took another pawn. That's fine. I'll just attack you that way. Now it goes to this. They don't want a queen trade, which I find funny. Now, if you think those of you who are observant, the queen. So when I say trade, you might think, well, there's nothing protecting it. The knight over there. If it took you a second to figure that out, you're an idiot. I'm just kidding. Now, sometimes it does take a second. The bishop is defending the knight, too. So if the queen tried to take the knight to take the base out from under it, there's two defenders on the knight, and they're just not in a good position, really. So they move their queen out of the way. They eventually do take my bishop, but I check them with that. Now, apparently, according to the engine, what I should have done here is like not that. They said I should have said there's some other best move, but like I don't know. It pointed an arrow that way and said that was the best move. They glitches all the time when you do that stuff. When you don't do the key moments thing, it seems to glitch more. Well, at this point, there's no point in me not taking his bishop, right? I mean, why would I not? Oh, wait, I didn't even do that. I just let the that slide. That is how stupid I was. I just took his rook. Well, I mean, I figure if I lose a rook, he loses a rook, and he was too stupid to even take my rook. So then I just checked him. Now he can't take my rook. Took that piece too, defending my f-pawn. Queen moves to take my rook. Knight moves to attack the queen. Why would you move out of the way and attack the other rook? A stupid idea. Because then it goes to this. And why didn't they? They weren't even apparently thinking of attacking the rook. They just wanted their queen near my king. Because they know either rook they attack, they'll lose the queen. I don't understand this. Now keep in mind, I am attacking them with no defender. My queen has no defender right now, that I can see at least. They move their bishop down. Why? I just took. Now I'm a bunch of material. So there's a lot of mistakes, and then that gives me a perfect shield. Now they can't just do anything. So then I do this. King moves up. Pawn moves down. Checkmate. And it's not the best game on my part, but I don't take these people seriously. They're pathetic. I mean, they haven't practiced that much, man. I put hours into this, and I know it's not great because that queen shit. I know that was really stupid, but I got nervous about time. I get really nervous because it was a 10-minute game. I wanted a 15. I know you can do it in the settings. I just didn't know. I thought it was a 15-minute game that you did when you, yeah. And then they moved there, and I thought that was really weird because then I can just take that. It was pretty smooth. In a weird way, some of these games look like weird Grandmaster games where you like don't know. Like if someone told you, I wonder if we could do a little thing where we try to trick Grandmaster. We say, this is an old game between we'd probably make him want to be Russian, so we would say maybe Marco Devinovich versus Tigran Petrosian. And most likely they're going to look at motifs from the game and think that this was one and there were some psychological tricks, even though the things, they're going to make an explanation for it. See, there's a queen fork there, and there's a queen and bishop fork. So they move the queen over to where I can take it. Then I just took that. Now, why didn't they take my queen is a good question. Because it's probably they were focusing on the rooks. I think they probably got tunnel vision. I'd have been shit out. I would have still won if they'd taken my queen because I have two rooks, and two rooks beats a queen, I think. Two rooks and a bishop, or a knight beats a queen. Then I took their queen, and they were just screwed. I can't believe they had that level of negligence that they didn't see that. I wasn't even really thinking that hard either. Like, I mean, obviously, otherwise I would have done stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, pretty easy to beat. You can make a lot of blunders. This is why I call these people chess punching bags. Because you can punch however you want. You don't have to make it a good punch. You can make as many blunders as you want. Ironically, I made 0 blunders because even when I didn't make a blunder, they didn't take. So, yeah. And at the end of the time period, I made my decisions faster than him, so that explains some of it. But I don't like rapid. I don't like it because I don't think it's chess. It's rapid is too casual for me. It's like you don't get enough time to really think. You have to kind of worry. That time element really irritates me. So I had to just kind of go by general opening knowledge and theory. And that I know that bishop move I made to d3 or d6 was not good. That was a little better, but I've been wanting to push the C pawn up a little bit, but I didn't get the chance to. I wanted to push the C pawn up and then try to get them to take it, and then move my bishop out, but it was long gone before. Well, it's not long gone, but I got the rook, so much better. Then back to there, taking their pawn, then castle, try to get my rooks out. Then for some reason that scared them off. They really did not want a queen trade. They really did not want a queen trade. It's like ridiculous. You see, man, and their bishops are so. Oh my God, their bishops are so gay. They should join the Lavender Mafia. My God, like when I give you an opportunity to take my queen, take my goddamn queen. By the way, I've noticed it's a good idea to make a knight's jump square. So if you want to get if you're having tunnel vision, what you do is you pick a square in the area you're kind of not focusing on. Say you're white, you were white in this position. What you should do is look at my pieces, not necessarily yours, mine. And you should isolate where they are. You should look at my queen. Since it's on the side, go down a knight's jump. So 1, 2, and then turn left, and then go. You'll land on for the knight's jump alone. You will land on B4, then C4, and then the square goes all the way from C4 to C1. That square shows you our relationship, and if they'd looked at that square, they would have isolated that my queen is actually able to be taken with no consequences. But they didn't think. They got tunnel vision, I'm pretty sure. If you flip the board, you're going to see the settings when you pop up. Sorry, we're going to flip the board. If you look at this, it's from this perspective, it doesn't look like it looks pretty equal. I mean, it looks like I'm only 7 pawns up, but it's redeemable. The problem is, it's not. See, I did that. Shouldn't have done that. Why did they do that then? I wonder if they know how the pieces move. Do they not know? Then I offered them another queen trade. I just got confident they wouldn't do anything smart after a while, I guess. It's pretty insulting. But, I mean, I was right, so you can't really judge me. I played Hope Chess and still managed on. And that knight's defended, and you can see it. So, let's look at it from their perspective and see what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking with that pawns in the beginning. Their chess style does look cool, though. Let's give them props. They do look cool. Props to Insisna 261. Hit me up sometime, man. See, so far it looks like one of my bad games against someone who's way better than me, but it doesn't at the same time because I wouldn't have done any of the things they just did. Although the queen out, they really should have taken the rook. I wonder if this person wanted to be like a grandmaster or something. Man, that must have been sad. You have those pawns and we're both down a lot of pieces. It's just I still have my queen and a rook. And the knight was controlling critical squares. It was defending the queen, and the queen controlled that entire file. The other file below it, so there's just no place to move. Couldn't move up because the knight's blocking, and even if the knight wasn't blocking and it was over somewhere else, well, honestly, you'd be screwed regardless. Because the knight can move out of the way, and it's so many different ways. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a preview because I left on a cliffhanger, and this is some bonus content. This is a game I played. I don't play people that much, so it pairs me with really low-rated players. And as you see from the fact that this game was over in, so we take 5 minutes and 13 seconds from 9 minutes. That's a modulus thing, so that would be like, how would we do that modulus arithmetic-wise? Or is it? No, that's just simple subtraction, I think. Because it doesn't go above. Because, well, it does. It kind of does. It kind of is mod 60. So 1 minute, 60 seconds. So we have 10 1-minute periods. And each time that one thing gets 60, it repeats. So we would subtract. So when did the game end? So he started out with a weird thing. He just normal d4, and then I played the kind of a Carocon, then bishop out, pinning his e-pawn, and then I think that was a really critical mistake on his part. And I've seen people do that knight on the side move before. Then I was just wrecking shit in his territory, and he just finally got tired. I'm getting the big guns. Now I wonder what he was worried about here. Because if he took, I think I still think it's the same thing. If he took, he'd get taken. So yeah, he just decided to take the pawns back. And then when he realized he was threatened, he moved that way. He took a long time to think about all these, by the way. You can tell because I ended up with more time on my clock than he did. I actually don't call this losing. I'll call this getting absolutely destroyed. I will say this during the game, it's hard for me to even notice that I didn't even notice that my queen was hanging and that I left it hanging. That he left his queen hanging, and instead of, if I'd have known that, I was focused on the knight fork. I got tunnel vision. Because there's the queen fork, they moved out of the way, so I took that. I think they were focused on that too, so they moved their queen out of the way when they should have taken. See, the wise move would have been to take my queen after that. I want a bishop, they want a queen, they'd be... How much up was I? 10, so they'd be up. I'd still be up a pawn. Then I'm just up crazy material, and then the knight came in. That was the end of it. Because notice I went along that line, always defending the knight, giving it 2 defenders. And that was definitely checkmate. When you have 2 pieces like that occupying the same file, look at how much defense, though. I did have pretty good piece coordination. It's just not like you could definitely convince someone of some like avant-garde chess grandmaster game. So we're gonna flip the board. I think I not to be prideful, but I do think I played better chess than him. Given that I won. I had a lot of fun with it, though, just figuring out what I like to see what I can get away with. That's how I like to play my chess. I really like to see how I can mess up their structure and how I can still win. And I especially like when they're lower experience because they show me I would have made these same mistakes. I'm humble. I know. I get it. It's hard. You don't think about these things. It's hard, but I will not admit to chess being complex because it's not. They could take my rook any time, by the way. They didn't, though. I think they're more worried about a checkmate. And they've almost lost all their pawns and their queen at this point. So then they took the wrong way. They could have taken one rook. Wouldn't have mattered because I didn't end up using them too much in the checkmating process. I mean, I used them for one thing, but I mean, I only used one rook, so that wouldn't have done anything anyway. So yeah, I don't think no matter. I think. No, sorry, drop phone. Still recording. Hang on. Yeah, I don't think that would have been that great. You can see this one thing. I'll talk about that later. It's an intermediate game, one of the 1200 games. We're gonna talk about that. I've had a lot, several games the Gadmator, and yeah, I'll explain it. I'm kind of ashamed. I shouldn't be ashamed though. See, I made a mistake because I'm on my phone, and we'll clarify when I get on my computer, and I'll show you what happened. And we're gonna have to rectify this, but we're not gonna. It's not gonna be like a rematch. I'll do rematches later, like real rematches. But for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on just. We're gonna just do what I'm gonna present to you what actually was supposed to happen, like what button I clicked and what move I chose to play. Because I did choose my move. I chose queen to a certain place, and that's why there's a reason I left it on a cliffhanger. You can probably guess why. The machine glitched and it moved it to the wrong place. That's not my fault. That is my phone's fault, not mine. I don't know if I got water on it or what, but I try. But the strategy is so clear in that the idea that I would miss. You saw what I was doing. I take it slow. You know my style. I swear on my other eye, I meant to. I intended to get that was the move I was intending. I really do. And I'll show you that when I get back to my computer. But yeah.